Obviously, the environment down here is all salt. The ceiling's salt, the floor is salt, the walls are salt, and to an extent, the air is salt. And you breathe that in, and you can constantly taste the salt.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Past the Salt Podcast. We are recorded live on March 5th, 2022. I'm one of your hosts, Taylor.
And I am Matthew.
And we make our glorious return in our glorious new studio.
Yes. We're now living together, so we actually get to be in person.
Yes.
Thanks. He's actually next to me.
Yes. A real person.
Yes. No, I'm a hologram.
That's over Discord.
Yeah. But with it, welcome back. Cotter's theme intensifies. Very true. Raspberries, oh damn, they're back and the world's worse because of it.
Yo, the camera's tilted.
Yes, it is in fact tilted a little bit.
Can we fix that? You see?
You have to loosen the bottom knob on it, or actually just like, because it's not centered, just turn it this way. Clockwise. Till it's about there. Probably need to loosen it. Sean, you need to loosen it. On the other side. Bottom.
No. You literally said last night, oh, it's fine.
This one. This one.
It's like, hey, it's not, I don't think it's level enough, so you're like, no, it's fine. Right when we go live, oh, it's not fine.
It's whatever. Tilt the camera more.
No.
Raspberries, I swear to God.
No.
But, nah.
So later.
Alright, well, welcome to the slightly tilted Past the Salt return. First in-person podcast. Hopefully the first of many. Alright.
Yes.
We, of course, have a wonderful show lined up for you today. But
as always.
For starters, what have you been up to in terms of tech?
Tech? Honestly, I personally have not been up to that much.
Okay.
Well, no, that's not true, because I actually... I was like, oh yeah, that's like, I took time to actually build out the studio and everything, and I got some standing desks, as you could probably hear Sean moving them. This one stands as well for videos. You can't see it right now because it's below the little title thing, but yeah, we got some standing desks to make things look cooler.
Yeah.
Outside of that, just working on moving in, getting settled on that part, because I moved in this last weekend, so just been settling in over the past week. Getting things up and running, and I think it's looking pretty good in here.
Yeah, it is. I was working on it too well. Hopefully the echo isn't unbearable.
I actually had a curiosity for the people listening. Is there an echo, or how's the audio sound on it? Because we're kind of working with what we got for right now.
Man, you sound like cringe.
I always do. Oleander says, nice new place, by the way. Yeah, thank you. At least Matt isn't being kidnapped by the ether anymore. That is also true.
Tilt the camera or he will fly jet into your house.
Nice.
Okay.
What you doing there? Oh, you're adjusting the leg?
There's an echo a little. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, we haven't sound treated the room just yet, so there's going to be a bit of an echo. I've at least laid down some blankets and got a dog in here, so that'll help just a bit.
The dog works as the best sound dampener.
Yes. Look at her go.
Yes.
Need a doggo cam.
Yeah.
Yes.
There is an echo. Yep. Okay.
Okay. We'll work over the next week getting that sorted out.
Oh,
yeah.
Thanks, dog. What'd she do? Like sneeze and mess up the blanket?
No, she just like bonked her head on the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
An echo is expecting a new home. It's a lot like a new baby smell. Yeah, that's fair.
That's fair. Okay, we are slightly less tilted. Excellent. I like it. Alright, so with me in terms of tech, not really a whole bunch, just getting the normal desk and whatnot set up. Planning out a new desk setup, so I don't know if we'll do videos about that or not. So, yeah. Oh, we forgot.
We forgot the water jug.
Damn it.
Podcast is over.
Stop.
But we do have the water cooler here, though. You can see in the corner there. We will get a water jug for it and make it operational.
Yes.
Bear with us, though.
Yes.
It will get there.
Yeah,
It's coming.
We're still working on stuff.
Exactly. And yeah, it's going great so far. And we did a little teaser of a short with our studio and what it kind of looks like. And we'll probably do a more in-depth, nice review with the good camera and all that Stay tuned, subscribe for all that. Speaking of subscribing and the plugs and all that, if you do wish to support us and do stuff like that, subscribing is a great method, like our videos. That is much appreciated. Helps the algorithm telling people, hey, they're doing a good job, so they show it to more people. As well, hit the notification bell if you do want to see us go live on the dot, as well as the videos that we post about twice a week. Hopefully, getting a little bit more current with our videos as well, especially with the Apple event coming up. That's gonna be a good one.
Yeah. M2 MacBooks, baby.
M2, let's go.
That's what I'm talking about.
Ooh, right. Baby. Outside of that, if you really truly wish to support us, it's not necessary by any means, but we do have a membership program where you can, like a Twitch sub, you can pay about $5 a month, and we get the proceeds from that, and you get access to some awesome badges, some cool emojis. I'm still working on I don't have to make a void emoji anymore now.
No, you don't. It's irrelevant.
Hashtag irrelevant.
Yeah.
But if you want a little sneak peek at what of our emojis look like, I just posted it there for you. I got a nice water cooler one, got a riot and a crying one with our little mascot there, and some faces of me and Ty Lambs. If you don't want to do that, there's other options. Like we do have a Twitter and Instagram where you can spread our stuff and help us grow on that platform. Twitter is at tech_4_thought. Instagram tech_4 spelled FOR_thought. We are actually much more active on those platforms now, as well as getting some other things in the works. So hey, anything would help on that part.
We also have an unofficial TikTok.
Yeah, that's true. We have an unofficial TikTok as the moment.
Please don't follow us there.
It's just Tech for Thought.
Yeah. With it, my chat is spamming out. There we go.
Okay.
And I think that kind of wraps up on that part for all that. Like I said, if you just helping, like telling somebody would be great, because I think since we got a place now, we can make it happen a little bit better.
Yeah.
Got nice room for it. Just catching up on chat. Pull it up. Love you guys. Says 6XX or Louis. I don't know.
Don't read the spam comments.
I don't care. It's important to shout out the chats. No, I'm just kidding. But Razery says, nope, still need the void emoji. Always will need it. Well, that's fair. Silver says, make a computer with only Gorilla Glue. We could trick. You could trick a rock to do math. Can you trick glue to do math?
I don't know if that's. I don't think that's conductive. Actually, I think it's rubber. Yeah.
It's not. It's conductive.
Yeah. So
You
that
can
is
make
possible.
You could make a case out of it, like get a mold and do a case.
That would
with
look
it.
disgusting.
Why?
We should do it.
Why not?
Okay.
But I think that covers it on the bases when it comes to the plugs and all that.
Yeah, I think so too. All right.
Awesome.
So, like to get into our first news topic today?
Yeah, let's go for it.
All right.
All right, going over it. I actually need to pull it up on my side. I was not ready for it. There we go. Got it. So with the I got the wrong one pulled up.
Oh my
So
God.
professional. Boomer stream, if you may.
Yes.
There we go. So with our first news topic this week from Tom's Hardware, the title being Nvidia is investigating potential cyber attack affecting internal systems.
Ooh. No one is safe.
The first of many attacks.
Yes, we'll get into
Factuals.
that a little bit.
Yes. But going into it, says February hasn't exactly been the best bed of roses for Nvidia, as the company was forced to abandon its $40 billion bid to acquire ARM, which resulted in a $1.25 billion breakup fee. That still hurts.
That's a really bad divorce.
Yes, that is a really bad divorce. But today we learned that Nvidia is a potential victim of a ruthless cyber attack, according to the report by The Telegraph. Nvidia's email systems and developer tools have been inaccessible for the past 2 days now, as of writing, that is. And at this time, it is unclear whether the attack itself forced these internal systems offline, or if Nvidia proactively terminated access to quell the threat. According to its sources within the company, Nvidia's internal systems were completely compromised. Unfortunately, there are no additional concrete details on the extent of the cyber attack or whether Nvidia is the victim of ransomware. We also don't know if confidential information stored on Nvidia servers was accessed during the reported intrusion. before we continue on that part. Damn.
Yeah.
It's
this article is a little bit old because we actually know more about this story. But let's keep reading so we have a nice little foundation to go off of.
Yeah. Next part says, for its part, an Nvidia spokesperson issued a brief statement confirming the report. We are investigating an incident, and we don't have any additional information to share at this time. The timing of Nvidia's cyber attack has raised a few eyebrows considering the military action carried about by Russia in Ukraine. There are suspicions that Russian entities could be targeting U.S. and Western companies for sanctions imposed by the respective countries. In a somewhat interesting turn of event, hacking group Anonymous has apparently declared cyber war against the Russian government.
So scary.
Ooh. I'm scared.
Okay.
Let's be honest real quick. Anonymous glows really hard.
Yes, they do.
Oh, that's pretty interesting. Just going to... There we go. Oleander says yarn is more conductive compared to rubber. That's fair.
That is true.
All right, and next portion here. Pulling it up. There we go. So Nvidia is a massive American chip company that currently has a market cap nearly $600 billion compared to the $200 billion and $192 billion for the rivals AMD and Intel respectively. Last week, the company announced its fiscal Q4 2022 earnings. I think that's supposed to be 2021, not 2022 there.
Where does it say?
Right.
Oh, Q4. Yeah, it's supposed to be Q4 2021.
Yeah, but whatever. And reported that the record revenue of $7.6 billion, a 53% increase, I assume, year over year.
Mm-hmm.
In addition, its full year revenue came in at $26 billion, a 61% increase.
Oh,
Feels good, man. And the company is well diverse with products covering PC gaming, data center, AI, supercomputing, general consumer markets like the Shield TV, which we've been having issues with.
Ours is very broken, actually.
Maybe just buy an Apple TV.
Okay. How about we just steal yours, Sean?
No, I use it.
Oh, we can use it.
No.
I think here's the thing, Sean. Our Apple TV.
No.
Okay.
But Nvidia also has contracts with the U.S. military, aerospace, and automotive industries, broadening its reach within the United States and across the globe. All right, so that's the article there.
Yeah.
So what details were kind of missing on that part?
All right, so I don't know for sure whether or not it was a ransomware attack, but bottom line, these hackers kind of got access to a lot of internal code and source code for NVIDIA stuff and whatnot, and are holding some of the information that NVIDIA would probably consider proprietary. Trying to consider proprietary almost as sort of like, it's not ransomware in the sense that like things are locked down, but sort of like as hostage. So for example, basically one of the demands from the hacker group has been NVIDIA needs to make all of its drivers open source, FOSS compliant, and whatnot, in order to prevent more information from being leaked. From what information has leaked out, we know a little bit more than NVIDIA would probably like us to know. For example, how their LHC works, their their limiter, their hash rate limiter and whatnot. Some possible leaks and firmware details for the upcoming 40 series of cards, which are expected out later this year, around late August, maybe early September or so. Ooh. And kind of interesting too, supposedly the Tegra chip that will be in the Nintendo Switch Pro, so to speak.
Yeah.
A beefier Nintendo Switch. Maybe the sequel to the Nintendo Switch.
It's been about like 5-6 years now since the Switch. So
the other day was 5 years.
Yeah. So I know the other day as well was the 22-year anniversary of the PS2.
Damn.
Yeah.
Bless.
I still have one that works.
We have one right back there.
We have two.
We got two of them.
The OG and the Slim.
It's actually behind. If I lean this, nope. That's probably. Yeah, you can see it right.
I just pick up Slim.
Yeah, it's true. I didn't want to move stuff.
Not even a pound.
It's got something. Oh, there we go.
With an HDMI
This
adapter.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And an audio jack.
Okay.
I assume.
Yeah.
Nice. But yeah.
No shit is bad when Anonymous, the Taliban, the Pope, and Pornhub are all against Russia.
No, it's
That's
Pornhub.
Okay.
It's
Prawn.
Prawn.
Sorry.
Liberty Prime Online. True.
Yeah. Hello. Hello, Gojko.
Gojko. Hello.
You missed out on the poggers.
Poggers. Okay.
Poggers. Because I know that was you.
I don't know what you're talking about those during the weekend.
But, I mean, I'm surprised Nvidia was able to be compromised like this.
Yeah, that is very alarming to see, because Nvidia, with all their work in the data center and whatnot, you'd expect their internal systems have security, and, well, I'm sure they do, but it's almost always just a matter of time before someone gets into stuff.
It's true.
Yeah. I'd be very impressed if it was actually a state-backed group that did this to Nvidia.
Like Russia?
Yeah. Because they don't, like... This doesn't strike me as the attack that a state actor would do, necessarily. So, yeah.
I got you there. But yeah, I could definitely see... I could see that. Just the biggest thing I could see out of it is the hash rate limiter, because that could definitely be a juicy piece of info.
Yes, it could. It turns out it's just a really easy software lock, which disproves Nvidia's claims earlier of it being like firmware based or like BIOS based or something. So yeah, just a really like almost shitty software lock in all honesty. So they're intentionally gimping cards they're selling in certain markets with that.
Yeah, no, which makes sense, especially with what is it? With what's the words I'm looking for? Well, at least the game, like the consumer gaming side of it all.
Yeah,
because I mean they do have specific cards for mining,
right?
And they're trying to separate that and make it two separate things. But I find it hilarious looking at that. Like, yeah, that makes sense in terms of how they managed to hash rate limit things.
Yeah. Gocho says, I just saw your videos and was subscribed for a while. You deliver great content. Hey, thank you.
Thank you very much. We do work very hard on our videos trying to make them good. And we got good stuff coming in the future. Ooh. We've started making some new things and they look good in my opinion.
Solid.
Yeah. Those are shareholders down there?
There are shareholders. NEG Quantum and Raspberries Reborn sharing the love with the emojis.
Yes. Alright, so Nvidia isn't the only company to have suffered a data breach and have some data for hostage. Looks like Samsung is doing the same treatment. Jamie, pull that up.
Sean, pull that up.
Got his name.
Alright.
Nice.
So this article is coming to us from WCCF Tech. Samsung gets hacked by the same group that compromised Nvidia's data with 190 gigs worth of info allegedly stolen, which when considered that this is mostly like PDF or other text documents with maybe some images scattered in between, 190 gigs is quite a bit of info.
Especially if it's something like firmware.
Yeah.
Because firmware takes up 32 megabytes max.
Yeah. It's very, very tiny.
Yes. So that stuff is gonna slap a little hard there.
Yeah. Samsung has reportedly been struck by a massive cyber attack initiated by the group Lapsus $. This is like a 13-year-old gamer tag.
I was about to say that looks like an old school Xbox gamer tag.
I just need some X's and some underscores and we'll be set. Anyway. The hacking group claims they have gotten a hold of 190 gigs worth of valuable data. This is the same group who hackers earlier stole 1 terabyte worth of data from Nvidia, which included leaked DLSS code.
Oh!
Yeah, which we were just talking about.
Yeah.
Samsung officials are aware of the cyber attack and reportedly claiming that an investigation is underway, but there's no mention of a ransom. In a note posted earlier today, Bleeping Computer reports that Lapsus teased about releasing Samsung data with a snapshot of C and C++ directives in Samsung software. Sure enough, the teaser led to the publishing of a leak, stating that it has confidential Samsung source code that was obtained from the cyber attack. So, let's see.
If they release it, we might be actually able to, fix some bugs on their devices, though.
I know, right? It's like, can I see what's going on while I don't get notifications on time on my note? That'd be cool.
It's mainly just Twitter as a whole that happens, too.
It's always lying for me. But the other day was actually the worst. It was like...
I've never had an issue with lying at least on my phone.
Okay, it was delaying text messages for me. Which, when trying to log into a time-sensitive, 2FA, was really a pain in the ass. Yeah. And I had to completely restart my phone before all the codes I requested just came in at once.
Top kick.
Anyway.
Blue Bubble Master Race.
Yeah. Looks like the leaks include source code for every trusted applet installed in Samsung's Trust Zone environment used for sensitive operations, i.e. hardware cryptography, binary encryption, access control. So that little like not security thing. If you have like a little, if you see the little blur pop up when you start up your Samsung phone.
Yeah.
Okay. Algorithm.
Yeah, so someone didn't plug in the camera.
Whoops.
Anyways.
Are we back? Okay. Sorry. The camera just got boomered. The camera died because we forgot to plug it in.
I'll admit, I forgot to plug it in there.
It's all good.
That's my bad. It's all good.
Professionally.
Boomer stream. All right, perfect. Well, can they hear us still?
Yes, they can hear
we're
us.
good.
I
Perfect.
can see the big green bar going up.
The Ethernet has increased their attacks. Now they just cut our hardware.
On the bright side, we didn't lose connection like previous streams.
Yeah, I can. I just end the stream right here.
Oh, God.
No.
All right. And finally, source code for Samsung's activation servers and the full source code for technology used for authorizing and authenticating Samsung accounts, including APIs and services. So, with all this information, you could effectively create malware that emulates, like, an account authentication for Samsung and whatnot on a victim's phone and send it to your own servers. Be like, hey, Samsung needs you to log in again. Okay, cool. And then suddenly you have their actual Samsung account. So you can successfully emulate that, and with very good accuracy. So anyway, the leaked data size shows 3 compressed files that amount to nearly 190 gigs. The data was then made available in a torrent. Lapsus says that it would be
Lapsus.
for some reason I was reading like La Pussy for some reason. Or La Puss, I don't know.
Les Pouces.
Anyway, Lapsus says that it would be deploying additional servers to help peers get the most out of their download speeds. A brief description of the content available is given below. Part 1 contains a dump of source code, Part 2 contains another dump of source code, and Part 3 contains various repositories from Samsung GitHub. So that is common in the industry. Companies have their own internal, obviously not public GitHubs that they push and pull like code to and whatnot.
Yeah, it just makes it easier for sharing it between your engineers.
Yeah, especially in work from home environments. So,
oh yeah.
Yeah, so that is common. Samsung officials said they're now...
The puss is sus.
Go touch grass, Taylor. Okay, no. Samsung officials said they're now assessing the situation, but have not confirmed if the hacking group has asked for ransom. This data breach may have adverse effects on Samsung's partners like Qualcomm and Apple, as the Korean giant has formed strong business relationships with them. We have to see if Samsung will engage in a dialogue with the extortion group, and if they will demand ransom. So this all just seemed like stuff that affected Samsung Mobile, which is a completely separate division than Samsung Display that works with Apple and whatnot. So I don't think it'll really affect anything with Apple, assuming that's the case. But based on what I just read now, this just seems like Samsung Mobile stuff.
Yeah, it just sounds like Samsung Mobile stuff, but it's still, I would say, very concerning.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's... You know what would be funny? Off topic.
Yeah.
Like, we get like something for the shuttles, right? That's like, you know how there's those boxes you like break glass in case of emergency?
Yeah.
There's like grass on the inside.
Emergency grass.
Emergency grass. Break glass if needed to touch.
That's pretty good.
I think that'd be pretty funny.
It's pretty good.
But I wonder how long either the group has like been sitting on terms of like hacking them, or it's like they did it in just like a record time.
I wouldn't be surprised if they somehow got a breakthrough.
Like within a day or so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that'd be pretty...
I actually wonder if, because Nvidia and Samsung both happened at the same time, I wonder if some enterprise security suite actually got, like...
That was
like a backdoor actually got found for like some big enterprise security suite, just like SolarWinds last year and whatnot, and it just suddenly, oh, every company in the world uses this fucking thing.
Yeah, that would be my biggest concern there, because it's... because it doesn't... It seems more than just the than just like individual parts on that. So I would say it's something like enterprise grade.
Yeah.
That's a hurt. That hurts right there.
That does. All right. Well, you hate to see it.
What do you think they'll What do you think they'll do long term with the information?
It depends on how recent it is and whatnot. If anything, I guess that's like probably the most this information can be used to do is either people on the development side will go through Samsung's code and fix their own buds for them, and then you get like these hacky ROMs you can put onto Android to boot from that are like
That'd be hilarious.
community patched versions of like Samsung's One UI or something. Or alternatively, it's just a lot more insight in how you might be able to breach Samsung phones.
Yeah.
Or Nvidia stuff, as we were talking about.
That'd be pretty fun to see, just like the community fixing bugs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
that'd be great to see.
Yeah.
But in terms of like why that's occurring, I think that's a good transition to our next topic. In terms of, Russia has been doing some mischievous stuff in East
Europe.
East Europe there.
Yeah.
And because of that, there some people have decided, no, we're not dealing with this. We're gonna stop sales there.
Everybody's very upset.
Very much so. To give you an idea via Tom's Hardware, AMD and Intel has halt processor sales to Russia and Belarus.
Among many other companies. Just for context, I don't know if the article will mention it. I know
Nvidia's doing it.
South Korea, Taiwan, and Japan are working on a joint agreement with each other in order to stop the export of like capacitors, chips, and whatnot over to Russia also. So it's not just big American tech companies doing this either.
Yeah, that's true. Oleander says Cold War II electric boogaloo is essentially what's happening.
Yes.
Pretty much, yeah.
All right.
And Raspberry says Russia destroys the AN-225, biggest plane in the world, the monsters. Yeah, that is true. Yeah.
Fuckers.
Goddamn motherfucking pieces of shit fuckers.
All right. I was like, I was trying to hold back from cursing there, but if you're wanting to do that, okay.
Anyway.
But diving into the article itself, in a sign that the United States government exports restrictions, United States government's export restrictions on semiconductor sales to Russia due to its war against Ukraine have been enacted swiftly. AMD and Intel have both confirmed that they have suspended all chip sales to Russia and Belarus, confirming multiple prior reports. In addition, reports have also emerged that TSMC's decision to participate in the sanctions will thwart Russia's supply of homegrown chips. Intel and AMD have both provided us with a statement on the matter, and we have also reached out to Nvidia for comment. With it, an AMD representative told Tom's Hardware, based on sanctions placed on Russia by the United States and other nations, at this time AMD is suspending its sales and distribution of our products into Russia and Belarus. Intel, am I pronouncing that correct?
Belarus? Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm just sometimes I'm iffy about the names.
No, you're good.
But Intel provided following comment to Tom's Hardware as well. Intel complies with all applicable export regulations and sanctions in the countries in which it operates, including new sanctions issued by OFAC, the Office of Foreign Asset Control, and regulations issued by BIS, the Bureau of Industry and Security. Intel later added a broader statement including that Intel condemns the invasion of Ukraine by Russia, and we have suspended all shipments to customers in both Russia and Belarus. The extent of Intel's and AMD's halted sales was unclear at first, but the new export restrictions are primarily aimed at chips of military purposes or dual-use chips that could be used for both civilian and military purposes.
Which pretty much everything is a dual-use chip now, which is part of the reason why we're in a chip shortage, is because like instead of just doing purpose-built chips, like everything in their DOD started having just like a chip in it to do some like random smart function or something.
Bro, I gotta update my trash can to open it.
Exactly. Yeah, so it's like your smart trash can is gonna have like a chip that you can program to do other stuff on it because it's not purpose built, it's just general build.
So, yeah.
Anyway, I digress.
Where was I? There we go. That means sales of most consumer-focused chips like Intel's Core and AMD Ryzen chips wouldn't necessarily be impacted. However, both companies have now confirmed they have halted all sales. And the sanctions also impact other companies like Samsung, Micron, SK Hynix, and among many others. But it is widely expected that there will be a temporary halt for all semiconductor sales to Russia as companies work to decide which products and customers are impacted. Additionally, the U.S. DOC has added 49 Russian companies to the entity list. The new U.S. export restrictions are akin to the sanctions leveled at Huawei, but they apply to an entire country, which is a first. Russia has prepared for years to deal with potential sanctions, especially in the wake of international sanctions in 2014 after its actions against Crimea. By both promoting its own indigenous semiconductor production and also stockpiling chips for just such an occurrence. However, Russia's domestically designed chips for companies like Baikal, MCST Yadro, and STC Module are actually manufactured by Taiwan-based TSMC, which has agreed to also suspend sales to the country to comply with new export restrictions.
Outsourcing is a bitch, ain't it?
Yes, it is. Yeah, that's the definition of why outsourcing could be a pain. That means Russia's supply of homegrown chips could also be cut off. Additionally, members of open source communities have begun to debating whether or not to support Russian-made chips. While companies like Intel and AMD are reportedly suspending sales immediately, that won't have an immediate devastating impact on the industry. According to Semiconductor Industry Association, the Russian government accounts for less than 0.1% of all global chip purchases, while the broader Russian market represents roughly $53 billion out of a $4.47 trillion global semiconductor market. Instead, the impact is expected to be felt when supercomputers, networking, military chips, and likely fail or need upgrades. In those cases, Russia would be forced to acquire the chips illicitly. And that's pretty much the end of that.
And because I guess the article was never back to be updated, Nvidia has confirmed in the time since this article was written that they are not selling to Russia either. So,
yes.
Yeah.
Raspberry says, put soap in Sean's mouth. Say no more.
No.
All right, Sean, come on.
Come on, boy. NEG Quantum, Russia never happened. There is no land north of Mongolia. The ducks are the park are free. Wake up. Nerd Awaken says never happened. So with it, actually, that is like kind of a conspiracy that I've heard recently. Is like the Russian war in Ukraine is just an entire big hoax.
It entirely being staged?
Yes.
Okay, well, I'm not going to believe that necessarily. I will say that both sides are exaggerating their successes, though. Which happens in any war.
Yeah, that's not a surprise anywhere. Yeah. But that it's the entire thing's a hoax to help draw like the world's eye off of COVID.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. It's a little interesting on that part.
Fascinating. Okay.
Yeah.
Sean can be a potty mouth if he wants to. That is correct.
Thank you.
Yeah.
NEG says, based. Can I claim a T90 for tax write-offs?
You know, the Ukrainian government is not having you claim any Russian hardware you might acquire on next year's taxes.
That is true.
So that is pretty based.
Yeah, you could do it and not write it off for tax purposes.
Yeah.
Oleander says, did I miss much? You can pretty much catch up on chat. Long story short, everybody's stopping sales to Russia.
Yeah.
Especially in the tech industry where, you know, chips are required for modern military equipment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, honestly, I don't know how spicy of a take this is or something, but like the complete almost just like, okay, so let me preface by saying that I strongly stand with Ukraine's right to defend their national sovereignty and everything, and what Russia is doing is pretty wrong and whatnot. Like, I firmly believe Ukraine has a right to defend itself and whatnot against the Russian invaders. What Russia is doing is wrong. However, I disagree with, like, essentially the cancel culture that's being applied to the entire country of Russia, just opposed to the government. Because you're just hurting citizens at this point, too, at some point, you know, who don't really have control over what Putin, who essentially is a dictator, is doing.
To be fair, that's how all wars go. Is that the only way to make it stop... Oh, I'll get there.
Yeah.
The only way to make war stop is by basically just either plowing the way back into the capital and taking out the leader, or messing with enough citizens and just cutting it off that way.
Yeah.
I mean, great example.
I mean, unless you're trying to stoke a citizens' revolt in Russia, which probably won't
There
work.
have been protests, but they've been arrested.
Yeah, exactly, which probably won't work, and especially if the citizens starve to death before they can actually revolt.
Yeah.
Then, it's kind of...
It's a dual-edged sword.
It's definitely a double-edged sword, yeah. I can kind of understand, chip imports and whatnot, just because it's there'd be no way to stop the Russian military going from a civilian computer store and buying chips if they ever need to replace stuff and whatnot.
Yeah, they would definitely do that.
Yeah, so that kind of makes sense. I'm just saying in general, I don't think completely ostracizing the Russian people is a good idea. The citizens, the general citizens, the civilian population.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's the first war that's really happened that caught the world's attention in the day of the internet and mass production of semiconductors.
Yeah.
So we don't really know how this is going to turn out, and that's the best way to kind of fight it without bloodshed. Is just you're just kind of cut off on that.
Right.
part.
It is. So it does. Actually, it's kind of come to think of it. Also, it's if you look back at a lot of the literature that talked about some of the fundamental philosophies of globalism as an economic concept and whatnot. A lot of this got rehashed when China joined the World Trade got let into the World Trade Organization and whatnot. And it's basically the economies become so quickly reliant on each other that a war just simply isn't feasible, because the people who don't like the war, or the countries that don't like the war, can in some way, shape, or form just cut off one another from And now it's a little bit of a different story with Russia because of how dependent they are on imports and whatnot, and their domestic production at home isn't the great. It's going to be a completely different story for China if, God forbid, we ever have to go to war with them.
That is true. To be fair, China's, thanks to everything it's said, has a massive industry when it comes to just general production.
Yeah. China can be self-sufficient if they want to, which is... Yeah. So, anyway. That's my 2 cents.
Yeah, no, I get you there. I agree with it, but it's one of the easier ways today to try to, or not easier, but just less harmful.
Right, exactly.
To be able to, because I bet once everything's said and done, that they'll lift
things
stuff.
will be restored.
Yeah, but it's just that's kind of how you have to do it nowadays on that part if you don't want to directly go into war.
Yeah, and to be entirely fair, also I would prefer stuff like this, even the overall ban of stuff into the country, or being exported to the country. I would prefer stuff like that versus U.S. or other NATO soldiers fighting Russia.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, that's the best way to do it
in this day and age, I guess.
Yep.
Yeah.
Olander says basically Russia isn't allowed to buy shit because Putin is a douche.
That is correct.
Yeah, Putin.
He's also wide.
The wide, honestly, the Putin wide meme is a top tier meme.
It is.
It's so funny. Yeah, I don't know what about it is, but it's great. It's good.
It's solid. I like it. All right. Well, speaking of the Russian invasion of Ukraine, this could actually exacerbate the chip shortage. Here's how. More news at 5.
I was like, what am I looking for? Oh, that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ukraine war flashes neon warning lights for chips. So really quick, just to preface this, the laser etching equipment that's used to carve traces into the silicon wafers during manufacturing chip and whatnot.
UV lithography.
Yes. They use neon gas to run, essentially.
Yes.
So unless you have neon gas, you're not running that, which is kind of important. Anyway, let's talk about it. Russia's invasion of Ukraine, read more, by land, air, and sea risks reverberating across the global chip industry and exacerbating current supply chain constraints. Ukraine is a major producer of neon gas, critical for lasers used in chip making, and supplies more than 90% of U.S. semiconductor-grade neon used in U.S. company designs and whatnot.
That hurts.
Yeah. According to estimates from research firm Tekiet, about 35% of palladium, a rare metal also used for semiconductors, is sourced from Russia. A full-scale conflict disrupting exports of these elements might hit players like Intel, which gets about 50% of its neon from Eastern Europe, according to analysts at JP Morgan. The pain won't fall evenly. ASML, which is Dutch, supplies machines to semiconductor makers, sources less than 20% of the gases it uses from crisis-hit countries. Companies may turn to China, the United States, and Canada to boost supplies, says JP Morgan, but this might be a slow path, although the chipmaking industry was able to manage an increase in neon prices stemming from the 2014 Crimean crisis, where Russia once again invaded Ukraine.
Slow it down a little bit there.
Sorry.
You're like speed running this article.
It said it was a 2-minute read. I'm going to make it a 2-minute read.
Following the Twitter of the author. No.
Yeah. But of course, the scale of today's conflict looks much bigger. Yeah, just a bunch of disclaimers there. Jesus. Okay.
Yeah, that section at the end looks a little weird.
Yeah. Anyway, so...
To be fair, at least on the raw material side, that's not surprising, because Russia is just... It's massive.
Yeah.
They got... And nobody lives in the Siberian part on outside, like, basically the Asian part of Russia, so...
Yeah. That's just free real estate, right?
They have free real estate to pretty much mine whatever they need.
Yes, with Siberian slave laborers.
Ooh, nice. Energy Quantum says, Blit!
Perfect. Okay. So, yeah, that's...
Yeah, so...
Could be an issue.
Yeah, that could definitely be an issue, but... for the nitrogen, I assume is used in the aspect to act as a barrier to ensure no oxidation occurs on the given wafers.
That is part of it.
So yeah, I would say it's probably a little crucial on that. A little bit.
It's kind of important. This is honestly what we're seeing with what we're seeing a lot with the Ukraine-Russia conflict right now is kind of a precursor, kind of a preview of just some of the stuff that would be happening or some of the issues even the Western world would face if we ever had some stuff going down in Taiwan.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is like a preview. It's like a movie preview. I hate this movie. All right.
Except it would be worse if it was Taiwan.
Yeah.
I think that would actually be we would probably go to war for Taiwan.
Yeah.
Oleander says, recently I got a Russian embroidery video recommended to me in my algorithm.
Fascinating.
And while I find the embroidery beautiful, I will not be distracted.
Yeah.
Facts. That's pretty good.
Okay.
I don't think... The only thing relatively Russian-esque that I'm aware of that I might watch is the hydraulic press channel.
Oh, are they Russian?
There's some sort of Slavic country or something like that.
Interesting.
I don't know what country it is, but I know he's at least he has a Slavic accent to me.
Okay.
I forget specifically, but yeah. That dude's cool though.
Yeah. Solid.
I like it.
Just like the hydraulic press. Pretty solid too.
Oh my god, that thing looks so fun to mess with.
Mm-hmm. It does.
Alright. But yeah, so that's even besides all that with, the concerns there, because there can be ground made up on that part.
Mm-hmm.
Because nitrogen, or what was it?
Neon.
Neon is still pretty prevalent.
It's abundant. It's one of the noble gases, I'm pretty sure.
It is a noble gas. That's why it's used to... I believe neon is used as well for shielding when it comes to welding and stuff to make sure that things don't oxidize.
And it makes really cool signs.
That's also true.
Especially in Asian countries where you have some of the smog mixed into it. It's like Blade Runner.
I just noticed the REMs.
Yeah.
I didn't know
we did double REM today.
I didn't notice they were there initially.
You're welcome. Yeah.
Thank you.
Anyway.
But, that's not the end-all be-all when it comes to the chip shortage.
No, it's not.
Because if we're looking at some of the math here on that part, in last month GPU prices they dropped 12%, at least according to Tom's Hardware.
Hell yeah! There's hope.
There is still hope.
Could this be hope?
I'm on that hopium.
Yeah.
But going through the article real quick, it says, we track the current GPU prices on all the best graphic cards and the latest additions to our GPU benchmarks hierarchy. We scrape eBay's historical data to get details on what sort of prices people are paying for GPUs. We provide monthly updates on eBay prices for the last generation. Nvidia's Ampere and AMD Big Navi generation GPUs, along with the previous generation Turing and RDNA graphics cards. If you're looking for an actual good deal on a new graphics card, we suggest checking out the RTX 3080, 3070, and 3060 deals page. Those are self-plugs. Alternatively, as people are buying PCs just for the GPU, might just want to buy one of the best gaming PCs.
Going for pre-builds.
Yep. But GPU prices in February continued to the downgrade plunge. And this time, every single GPU we checked dropped at least a few percentage points in price. Overall, though, the average price of a GPU dropped by 12% compared to the previous month. But much of that is due to higher volumes, relatively speaking, and on the lower priced parts. As we've mentioned before, GPU prices on eBay tend to mimic the profitability of cryptocurrency mining, albeit with a bit less volatility. Bitcoin started February hovering in $38,570 or $500 range, and before dipping below $37,000 and rebounding to over $45,000, and then dropping once again to a low of less than $35,000, which is hella volatile. This current price is sitting at just over $41,000. Did we mention that volatility of cryptocurrencies? Yeah. Ethereum followed a similar pattern, starting the month around $2,700 range, reaching a high of $32.57 and dropping low of $23.37. And GPU prices are thus a trailing indicator when you take a long viewing things. Daily prices can fluctuate quite a bit, but they're never quite as volatile as cryptocurrencies they track. Much of the downward trend continues because of the massive drop in crypto mining profitability from its peak in early 2021, which is true. And the prices are still in search of a new equilibrium. Here's a look back at the month, so you can check that out there, which is nice. There we go. All right. Go on the next part. If you flip to the next page, you can see that every GPU dropped in price, but the quantity of GPUs sold on eBay also dropped on most of the cards. The exceptions are mostly the GPUs that launched last month, which is the RTX 3050, right at the end of January, and sold just 17 cards at an average price of $539.
Oh, God. Jesus.
Compared to selling 330 cards with an average price of $455 in February. Holy shit.
Okay.
Similar, there were only 14 RTX 6500 XT cards sold in January at an average price of $365 compared to 124 GPUs sold at $272 in February. And the RTX 3080 12GB has also better availability and prices, though still fewer than 100 cards were sold during the entire month. Woo! Those prices hurt, man.
I don't want to talk about it.
That hurts.
I don't want to talk about it.
Oh my god.
Okay.
That hurts to look at, to be honest.
Yeah.
How much is left in this article? A good chunk of it. But overall, the average eBay selling price for a GPU in February was $1,094 compared to the $1,248 in January. Oh, that still hurts.
Yeah.
I remember when everyone was appalled at the launch price of a $1,200 2080 Ti back in the day. Thousands of people are paying that much and more for graphics cards upgrades right now, all thanks to cryptocurrency miners and the pandemic-induced shortages. There were fewer cards sold on eBay as prices declined, which makes sense if you consider the source of most of these sales. Scalpers and other profiteers are hoping to milk buyers for as much money as possible, but they also need to turn a profit. If a potential scalper bought a card like a 3060 for $600, selling it on eBay later for $636 would be a net loss once eBay takes its 14% share of the sales price. Put it another way, there are plenty of cards still being offered at inflated prices, but fewer fish are biting, which is a good thing. That's overall a good thing. And overall, AMD continues to offer the best value with the RTX 6600 and 6600 XT taking the top two places in terms of FPS per dollar, and the RTX 6700 XT comes in third. And even the mediocre RTX 6500 XT takes fourth place overall, thanks to its sub $300 price point. but it should really be sub $150 card, so don't jump at an opportunity. Yeah, that card's garbage.
Yeah.
It's a budget card sold at a high-end price or a high-end card sold at an extreme price.
Yeah.
We expect a downward trend GPU prices to continue throughout 2022. The rest of it's really not necessary to go through on that part.
Yeah, just a bit recap. All right.
But hey, prices are going down.
Yes, which is a good overall trend in the right direction. So, man, one can only hope.
One day we'll be back there. I mean, to be fair, a 12% drop in a month is significant.
It is, yeah. Start praying for the Bitcoin price to drop.
Yes.
Hope,
Yeah.
Hope.
Yeah.
Opium.
Straight up hope. Yep.
Hope, seed mold.
Oh, I see people talking about Elden Ring.
Yes.
Speaking of Miyazaki, I'm making a crochet plushie of Gigi from Kiki's Delivery Service.
It's the cat.
Yeah. That's going to be adorable.
Yes. All right. Well, do you want a new GPU anytime soon?
No, no. I'm good with my 2070 Super.
My 1080 Ti is aging like fine wine. Yeah. No regrets.
Yeah. I don't have any regrets with mine. I can't even fit anything else in my case.
That is true. At least not yet.
Like, that card pushes it to the max.
Just get a new mini ITX case.
I like this case, though.
Okay, fair enough.
It's nice. It's cute.
Prices going down in current year. Yeah, whatever gains are made up in that market by them dropping are just lost by inflation.
That is also true.
Yeah. Anyway.
At least it's trending in the right direction.
Yeah.
Raspberry's laptop 3070 gang. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't we have a video out about why laptops might not be such a bad way to go now?
Yes, I'm actually really proud of that video. I do have a video published about the solution for the laptop, or solution for the chip shortage right now, which is more of a demand spike than anything, to be honest, is laptops, to be honest. Because, I mean, yes, they aren't as powerful as a given desktop, but they are available, and they roughly price out about the same.
Yes.
And they have built-in screens, too, and all that stuff, so you don't have to actually buy accessories unless you want to.
Right. Yeah, you're good to go as soon as you take it out of the box.
Yes.
They just plug it into a charger.
Yeah. You have to plug it in and keep that bad boy fed.
Yes.
For sure. But, for the moment, though, I hate how they call it a chip shortage, because you can't say it's a shortage if companies like Nvidia, AMD, Intel, TSMC are all posting record profits.
I know. Yeah. It kind of doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess chip shortage is a better headline.
Yeah, it is. And people kind of know what you're talking about at that point, too.
Yeah.
So,
Like the biggest thing that's affecting right now is like appliances and new vehicles.
as we just experienced.
Yeah, we bought a new washer and dryer today for the house.
And related news, we're down $2,000.
Thank God for credit cards.
Yeah.
Thank God my credit got increased overnight. Yeah. I woke up and was like, good news, everyone!
We can buy a washer and dryer
We're buying
today.
a new one.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
I can't buy a new truck.
All right.
I don't know. So we gotta go back and like find old Model Ts that don't like just run off like engines and injectors and all that stuff, and just like no computers in it, just make that stuff run.
Yeah, exactly. Easy, just don't be poor.
LS swap that thing.
Yes. Can you do a K-swap? That's VTech, bitch.
Let's get some VTech in that bitch.
Okay.
Raspberries, easy, just don't be poor. In this economy?
It's like,
No
you know,
way.
it's
No
like,
way.
it's like, you know that gif of like the two dudes, there's like one points out something on the computer, he's like, oh yeah, why didn't they do that? Pretty
Yeah.
much that one when reading. Yeah, oh shit, yeah. That was so easy. Alright.
Oh my god, but it financially get good. I am working on that with my current job.
That is true.
Yes,
I'm sorry to do that for my new job.
Yeah, we are all grinding away at life and bettering ourselves.
Yes.
Oh, it feels good, man. Nothing like progress.
You know who isn't a very progressive company, though? In the sense of they don't like making progress forward too much.
Valve.
Well, yeah. And Nintendo.
No, I actually, you know what? I can't say that about Valve now, because no, they made the Steam Deck, and they're pushing hard for Linux adoption.
Wow, they've had the first successful hardware launch in their entire history, and everyone loses their shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean,
Where were all these people with the Steam controller, huh? That thing was cool.
I have
Fight
one
me.
that sucked.
fight me. It was cool.
I suck with controllers. I can't do them. I have to play like Souls games with mouse and keyboard because I just suck that hard.
Yeah, you suck.
See, people say it's a difficulty challenge. Like, oh, if it's an extra layer of difficulty playing with mouse and keyboard. I'm like, bitch, it's a difficulty level for me playing with the controller.
So I don't know what to tell you.
So if you play Switch, you just plug in a wireless keyboard and mouse. I'm like, all right, I'm set.
I actually have considered that. But no, it's like going through Breath of the Wild was a bit of a struggle. I'm just not good with controllers. Anybody who's seen me game on a console can attest to that.
Okay.
Speaking of Breath of the Wild,
Facts.
Let's finally move on to this article. All right. So, this is coming to us from Eurogamer.net. Steam Deck Nintendo emulation videos are disappearing from YouTube because Nintendo don't.
Facts.
Alright, videos demonstrating emulation of Nintendo consoles on Valve's Steam Deck are being pulled from YouTube. The videos show off the Yuzu and Dolphin emulators running on the deck, which emulate Switch and Wii games respectively.
Nice.
It's not clear who exactly is issuing the takedown request, probably Nintendo, but given many of the channels have similar videos showing emulation of other non-Nintendo platforms that are still on the site, one could make an educated guess that it's Nintendo itself. Wow. Yeah, who would possibly... Wow.
I wonder.
Yeah.
I can only guess.
Yeah. One of the videos taken down, for example, was from YouTube channel The Fox, who also has videos showing Xbox and PlayStation 3 emulation on the deck. The now removed video showed off a number of Switch games running on the deck, including Super Mario Odyssey and Super Mario 3D World, along with performance metrics. Nintendo is known for using the full extent of the law to protect its intellectual property. Last month, the Nintendo hacker Gary Bowser was sentenced to serve 40 months in prison for the distribution and sale of piracy-enabling devices. Bowser had also accepted an additional $10 million. Excuse me, sorry.
that was Nintendo.
Yeah, Bowser had also accepted an
Nintendo.
additional $10 million fine to settle Nintendo's own civil lawsuit against him.
God. Oh my god.
Real
Troll
quick,
war.
just going through some of the comments here. Silver Papyrus says the channel feels like it's going to be something big, just needs some time.
Thanks.
Thank you, really do appreciate that. We're trying hard here. Raspberries, hopefully. How do 3 fully adult males not have enough between each other? The economy is in shambles.
Yeah.
Yeah. The bank is broke.
You know how we survive the economy? Being with the boys.
The boys.
Non-progressive company, who do I gotta boycott now? No, not in that sense. In the sense of, like, Nintendo is very behind the times when it comes to new technology and how that interacts with intellectual property.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
what.
like,
Yeah.
with the new PlayStation 5 and Series X, how is Nintendo going to survive with their weaker hardware? Because, companies might not really spend the time and money to develop a Switch version.
That's, to be honest, that's not too concerning on that part because you can make that argument, but look at Doom, look at Witcher, like they don't care.
Yeah.
They bring it to the Switch.
Yeah, but in their issues, there's been some pretty lazy ports that's been happening.
I mean,
i.e. the cloud version of Kingdom Hearts.
yes, I can't deny it. Like that, yeah, that's true.
Like, that can run on the Switch just fine. 3, though, I don't know. But the original PS2 games, you can't get that running on a Switch.
Yeah. Some of them are good, some of them are bad, but that's not going to stop them. I mean, if the supposed leaks from Samsung are true, or my bad, Nvidia on that part are true, we're going to be getting possibly a more powerful Switch in the next year or two, so that won't be as much of a concern.
Well, okay, that's also not a fair argument to say that the Switch can't run PS2 games because an emulator loaded onto Switch can't run PS2 games and whatnot, because the emulator is basically not how the PS2 would have handled graphics in the first place.
Yeah.
Like, it's basically a community mock-up, so comparing, like, emulator performance to stuff isn't incredible.
Yeah, because that's always been a big thing, is like, at least like 5 to 10 years ago, if you wanted to play like some older emulated games like PS2 or something like that, for example, you needed a pretty strong computer to be able to do that, to be able to run it reasonably, even at the old, shitty graphics. So emulators are weird in that part because they do have a massive impact on performance, just because it has to translate that code back and forth so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just more worried that developers don't really want to spend the time and money to like create like a Switch version, and then they just stop making it. It becomes like the Wii U again, where they barely have third-party development.
Well, the Switch has one of the largest install bases of any console out right now.
Yeah.
I mean, you're buying it for the Nintendo games, basically.
Yeah,
that's true. With it as well, to be fair, unlike the Wii U, the Nintendo Switch has sold like hotcakes.
Yeah,
it's everywhere too.
There is a market
right
for
now.
it.
It's the best-selling Nintendo console.
Yeah,
correct, and it is very, very rapidly approaching the PS2.
Yes.
Yeah.
With Elena says basically Nintendo went full Disney with suing everyone and their mother.
Yes.
As they typically do, because that's one reason why I don't feel comfortable hosting like B-roll of Nintendo stuff. Is just like
they are trigger happy.
They are very don't mind like copyright claim. Like,
you know what? Fuck these guys.
Take down your video. Hard strike. It's
you like our stuff.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to like our stuff publicly.
And if that happens to us, we're way too small at this point to be able to even try to deal with
the threat of 10,000 Japanese lawyers descend upon the studio.
I hear them rolling over the hills now.
We have some Nintendo stuff in the back. We better remove it before we get copyrighted.
Oh god.
Oh no, hide it.
Oh god, hide the GameCube, hide the Wii. Okay. Shit. Alright.
Yeah. But to be fair, they have gotten a little better compared to, at least with the new CEOs on that.
They at least understand the concept of Let's Plays now.
That is true.
Finally.
Yeah.
Wait, so you mean Let's Plays don't actually hurt sales?
No. Let's Plays actually help sales.
Because people would be like, oh, this game looks cool, I'm gonna buy it.
That's why indie developers become like so prevalent nowadays, because there will be less players, like huge ones that play their games and spread the game. That's why Subnautica blew up.
I think Minecraft blew up back in the day.
Minecraft blew up that way. Subnautica.
Roblox.
Yeah, Roblox. It's like the list can go on. It's like
Mongoose.
Yes. Well, that was the same concept. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, that's live streaming. It's a little bit different in most cases.
PUBG also.
PUBG
got really popular because of the live streaming, how the format.
Basically any battle royale. Yeah. It does nothing but help, to be honest, because people will be interested. I mean, yeah. A lot of crazy stuff.
Nintendo, we make good games or we make terrible company decisions.
Yes. I don't know. Would you consider Metroid good?
Yes.
No.
Yes. Whatever. All right.
Metroid Dread, more like Metroid Cope.
I was gonna say Metroid Dead.
Where's Prime 4, Taylor?
Where's Prime 4?
Still in development.
Like the past 20 years.
Yeah.
Sorry, we have to restart again.
Well, it kind of, I think we could transition to our next topic now.
Mm-hmm.
We
do not read this entire article.
No, I don't plan
Read all of it, come on.
Okay.
No, it's very long and drawn out, and nobody will care.
It's a master's thesis, essentially.
I need to sign in.
No, you don't. Oh, okay. Well, here, I'll just read it then.
Yeah, you go for it.
Okay. AMD is now worth more than Intel, and with good reason. AMD is making large strides in gaining market share in high-margin segments such as server CPUs. This quarter's earnings report was impressive, and AMD's 2021 performance was perhaps its best ever. Management sentiment has increased slightly, bringing AMD's sentiment back to average, which is slightly bullish for the stock, because it wouldn't be a Pass the Salt podcast without stock.
I was about to make a joke about that.
Yeah. March shows a statistically significant bias towards excess returns for AMD investors, and it is a good time to buy.
Yes.
Not financial advice, by the way. That is the opinion of Damon Burial, who wrote this article. Anyway. Okay. The last time I covered advanced micro devices, I pointed to a strong seasonal pattern in which AMD rises an average of 17.75% over November. AMD ended up moving up nearly 33% last November. Anyone who went long for that seasonal play profited greatly. I haven't written about AMD recently due to the December through February seasonality being weak for this stock. March, while not as strong as November, holding AMD through November actually beats buy and hold. It is a good month for this stock, but before we get into the seasonal pattern and the play, let me update my AMD thesis. Alright, yeah, this is actually financial advice that I'm not going to go ahead and read, but it's just outlining why AMD has strong foundations and whatnot in terms of if you would want to buy the stock. But basically, AMD is essentially getting carried by its Ryzen series for consumer desktops. That is pretty much the long and short of what this article says, and they're being so carried. They're being carried so hard by the Ryzen chips and whatnot that their market value has surpassed Intel.
Yeah.
So anyway,
which we kind of did touch on that a moment earlier when we were talking about values of companies that weren't working with Russia, and we mentioned that AMD is above Intel.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think so. That's a good sign for AMD in terms of their growth and their place in the market. I don't know how long it will last because Intel could be coming out with their GPUs hopefully sometime this year.
Okay.
I think we're shooting.
Yes.
I'm hoping an announcement at least at Computex.
It was supposed to be within the first quarter. We missed the first quarter.
Yeah. Still haven't heard anything about the 3090 Ti, by the way.
Yeah, it's like everything just disappeared in February. Everything was like primed for end of January, and now February has come and gone, and now we're just here in March, and anyone is none the wiser.
Yeah.
Again, we aren't a finance podcast. Exactly.
Yeah. Unrelated, but sort of related because of Disney comparisons. Winnie the Pooh is in the public domain now.
Okay.
So now I can post memes of Winnie the Pooh and Xi Jinping without issues.
Exactly.
Oh, bother. Stonks. But yeah, I mean, it's not surprising from AMD. Their Ryzen, everything around that is just, it's been solid growth year over year. They're really, I mean, the initial launch Ryzen, the 1000, 2000 series,
Laid solid foundation.
it's a solid foundation. It wasn't the best, and they knew it wasn't the best. But it laid the road work for them being, competitive and a little bit ahead of Intel when it comes to performance.
Yeah.
Although, next generation is going to be super interesting.
Yes, it is. And I don't know, maybe the most telling thing is it mentions a lot of gains in the enterprise space, which is always years behind if you're a chip manufacturer and everything.
Yes.
But if you're Intel, that's pretty scary. And if you're Intel, you better make sure all those, the Xeon chips and whatnot.
Xeon.
Yeah. For server stuff, better start cracking on those because AMD is going to be epic.
To be fair, with AMD, they have at least been beating Intel when it comes to at least core count on their commercial grade, the
enterprise.
The enterprise stuff.
That's pretty epic.
Yes, it is. They've been doing well there. They just haven't had the performance per core to be able to match up against Intel on that part.
Right.
But because I think thanks to the progress when it comes to the general Ryzen, because they adapt back and forth between the two, that they've been able to make up that ground, and they are slowly. The meme where it's like it's the 4-panel one where it's like the dude's driving, looking worried in the mirror. It's like objects seem closer than it appears.
Yeah.
You need to put Intel on the behind the car and AMD in the rearview mirror holding an EPIC chip.
Yes, exactly.
But I mean, I can't deny that they've been doing well. They've also, at least with this last generation, a 6000 series of their GPUs, it's been better.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely a step up compared to previous generations.
Yeah.
So they definitely earned it when it comes to being more than Intel. But when Intel releases their Arc lineup and the associated, bump in stock that's going to come with that, not financial advice. It's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah.
I'm very hopeful to see those two compete.
Yes.
Will Nvidia ever join the CPU market?
I don't think so.
No. To be fair, they're just in that specific stuff where they are right now, like GPUs and AIs and things like that, and they are worth 3 times more than AMD, and 50% more of both of them combined.
Nvidia doesn't need to join the CPU market.
Nvidia doesn't care.
Yeah. Nvidia is just like giant fuck off over here while AMD and Intel are fighting it out.
Yeah. Oleander, add Winnie the Pooh to the list of stuff crocheted just to spite the CPP.
I like it.
CCP. I like it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, credit's due where credit's due on that part.
Mm-hmm.
I can't deny it.
Good job, AMD.
Yeah. Do we have any other news topics?
I think that's it.
Nice. Well, I guess for the water cooler combo parts, anything fun or interesting happened this week that we haven't talked about?
I don't think so. Oh wait, actually. How do you like standing desks now that you've been using them?
Oh yeah. So in terms of standing desks,
Yeah.
great.
Okay.
Sean, what are you like? I'm afraid of you messing up the camera accidentally with moving it.
It's fine. I'm watching it.
I know.
I thought that was moaning for a second. I was like, Sean, what are you listening to?
Maybe spirits on tides.
But okay. Standing desk solid. Way to go.
I love standing desks. So like if you've seen our little teaser, you can see there's 2 desks in the little shot there. One of them is my gaming PC setup, and another is a work from home setup slash video setup, which we are actually using right now for the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I think I love standing desks.
Okay.
I've never used one before, but I've always enjoyed the concept because I like to work on my feet. That's what I've always done in my life outside the office job that I have.
Yeah.
So it works for me. I love being able to stand. Keeps me helps keep me focused. Stare out the window a little bit when I really need to.
Okay.
Touch some grass.
Touch some grass. Yeah.
Emergency grass. Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
I know that the standing desks have started to inspire some others when it comes to their setups.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
I like my drawers.
I can't blame you liking your drawers.
Yeah.
Now, standing drawers.
I love refrigerators. I love water coolers.
Yes.
Yeah, we do need to get a water jug for that.
Yeah. While we do it, just grab some water out of it and just talk.
At least it's there in spirit.
Yeah.
Yes, it is there at least in spirit. It's not currently plugged in because no water, but
Yeah.
So, guess you have to downgrade back to Windows 10.
You did?
Yep.
Why?
Some apps just don't work that well after an update. Like Photoshop, I can't render anything for some reason. It
Interesting.
just gets stuck. My fans just go crazy. Like 5 minutes later, nothing, and then Photoshop just crashes.
Okay.
But on my MacBook, everything's just fine. Like, you know what? I'm gonna try Windows 10 again, see what it's like.
Mm-hmm.
It's been just fine.
Okay.
I mean,
Every time I install Windows 10, for some reason the start menu doesn't like to work.
To be fair, did you try reverting the update on Windows 11?
You were not
over it then?
Yeah,
Done.
there's a lot of stuff I just hate. Like the folder previews, they got rid of that.
Yeah, that's annoying.
Or the Windows Explorer search, they made it like way worse.
Hi, Chloe.
Yeah.
Like on Windows 10, you can search for something, then you can right click to find the location of it.
Yep.
But on Windows 11, you can't do that for some reason, which is just wrong.
Sean, now's not the time for moaning songs. We don't want Saran Wojcicki to smile at us.
Mommy Susan, please chill.
Yeah.
Who?
Susan Wojcicki, the CEO of YouTube.
Oh.
Yes.
Mommy Susan, please.
Also known as Sauron Wojcicki.
Yeah. Aw.
You okay, doggo? You need a... We'll let you out in a
Well,
moment.
see who YouTube's watching us and
Observe. All right.
Observe.
Okay. Well, I think that's
If
quite the
Susan
note.
Wojcicki is watching us, oh, hi,
Oh,
doggo.
hi.
Is she... Oh, my God, dog.
She could be on camera, I think.
Yeah, she's in frame. Yeah.
Aw.
Just dog.
We know
Look,
that.
new mascot.
I like her character
she's-
mascot.
Oh, she's just barely out of. There we go.
Hi.
Hi. Doggo. Okay.
Big yawn.
Are you tired? Okay.
Yeah.
And Monday, I get to contact Dell because I found a dead pixel on my monitor, and my warranty's still good until 2024.
Damn.
Nice. I've not had a single issue with my LG monitor, and it's
Yeah.
amazing.
I like it. I don't know, $1,000 to spend on a monitor.
Fair enough.
And that's
To be
all
fair, I bought that one. It was refurbished on Amazon for okay being doggo.
Okay.
It was like $750 when I bought it.
Yeah.
I was
I
like,
found mine for like 400. Like, you know what? I missed the ultra wide. I like the curve. I'm gonna do it.
Real monitors have curves.
Exactly.
All right. Well, I think that's quite the note to end things on.
yeah, I think that's pretty solid there. Oh, let's just real quick through the plugs as we kind of went through the beginning there. Of course, Taylor, where can people find you on the internet?
Find me on Twitter at Infurious7809. That is at INFERIUS7809. Mostly anime stuff over there, so go check it out.
Yes. For me, if you wish, I am at Filmed by G-Man. I'll try using that more as throughout this year. Let's see how that goes. But more importantly, if you want to follow the channel, we do have a couple platforms. The main ones being Instagram at tech_4, spelled FOR_thought. Twitter at tech_4, number 4_thought. There's a great place to spread the good word of Tech for Thought. We also have, if you wish, sub on the channel, like our videos. That helps a lot and helps it spread throughout the algorithm. That engagement, comments, and us responding. Oh, algorithm loves that stuff.
Yes, chef's kiss.
If you really want to help, membership, always $5 a month. Cool emotes, awesome badges we've designed. I really like how they've turned out. Definitely more coming in the future on that part. I think once we start getting more memberships on that and whatnot, we could do like member only streams.
Yes, we
I
can.
think that would be cool.
Yeah.
Everybody says hi to the doggo.
Yes.
Everybody says hi, Chloe.
Hi, Chloe.
Can I plug my stuff?
Yes.
Sean, where can the good people find you on the internet?
I'm not on YouTube anymore. Nerd Awakens, a dead channel. Maybe once in a while I'll post. I thought of.
Nerd Awakens.
You can find me on Reddit on u/Nerd Awakens. I'm usually in some subreddits. You can find me on Battle Stations. You can find me on good anime memes. You can find me. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Find me on Twitter at Nerd Awakens. I post once in a while. I just do my weekly. Congrats, Sailor, you made it Friday.
Yes.
Friday night, Saturdays are made for dads.
Yes.
So if you like that stuff, follow me there.
Boo, Sean. Boo. I mean, yeah, Sean helped us throughout. He helped all this screen switching stuff and whatnot.
He was the disembodied voice you heard from behind the camera.
Yeah. He is manning the station right now, switching our scenes and all that good stuff, being the producer he is.
Do I see some cope in the chat from Red Quantum?
I think so.
I think you're seeing some
I think there's some
there.
cope.
But yeah, I think that kind of wraps it up on that part. As always, guys, really, really do.
Thank you all so much for watching.
Appreciate it. And next week, if you want to see us, 1 p.m. Arizona time.
Yeah. Same time, same channel.
All right. See you guys then.
Bye.